Raoul Pal once again talking about $100 trillion crypto market over the next 10 years. We also have a new clip of him talking about the XRP Army. You got to hear what's in this clip. We're also going to discuss some new information about ETFs and Wall Street getting into XRP and what it could mean for our bags. Ondo Finance is preparing to do a massive push over the next few days. If you own Ondo, you're going to want to hear this news as well. And it does, of course, involve our favorite assets. Let's go ahead and play this Raoul Pal clip and get into it. We're having a fantastic week, ladies and gentlemen. Nice to see you.
By my work, we're a $4 trillion economy today in crypto. If we extrapolate trend rate of growth and assume the network growth slows over time, I think we get to 100 trillion by 2032, 2034, 100 trillion. That means there's 96 trillion of wealth that's going to get created. So halve me, and I say this all the time, for being an utter moron. $46 trillion of wealth is about to be created. It's the largest wealth generation event in all human history. It's fractionalizable to a rice worker in the Philippines as it is to somebody in Fifth Avenue. It is an unbelievable opportunity. And to go back to it, you're front running the institutions and you get to do all of this.
So a lot of stuff he's saying here, right? The market could go $50, $100 trillion over the next few years. This is the biggest opportunity that we've ever experienced in our lifetimes. The biggest opportunity that we will have as regular people to own a piece of the financial system. We've never had this opportunity in mankind's history. Governments and elites have always owned or talked about or built the infrastructure that we use every single day. Now, the public has the opportunity to beat institutions in, and that's what we have been doing here on this channel over the last few years, and I'm so thankful to be on this journey with you. Let's keep getting some more of this. It's getting me pumped up.
Listen, I could not agree with you more. And, when it comes to macro financial analysis, you are the king. And I would never question your work on this one.
You can call me a moron. You have many times.
But here's the thing. I've actually never called you a moron, right? And I never will call you a moron. But what I will say, and I think this is super important, is this is really a misunderstood evolution. It will continue to be for quite some time. But this is bigger than social. This is bigger than mobile.
It's the internet being redone for all of us to participate.
The internet is absorbing value and the movement of value in a way that is never had before. And that is the most simplistic way to look at it. And, if journalists want to fixate on fart coin, that's fine. It's just a small...
They want to keep you distracted. Let's think about it. Who owns all of these different news agencies? A select few people. And those select few people want to remain extremely rich. And the way that they do that is to keep you fighting each other. That's what their goals are, right? Put stuff out, get them fighting each other, get them distracted, get them away from this new technology. We want to own all of it. We don't want them involved. That is us. They don't want us involved. That is what it's always been like. Welcome. If you're just now catching up, welcome.
Segment of it. You're missing what stable coins are really doing. You're missing what Bitcoin's real purpose is. You're missing what these DeFi protocols are actually delivering on. And that's fine. Focus on Fartcoin.
What's Bitcoin's real purpose? A store of value, right? They're telling us it's a store of value now. Is there other stuff there that they're just not telling us, right? They're trying to sell us on Bitcoin. Store of value, store of value, store of value? Okay. Where's the other utility, right? Anyways, let's keep going. This is another clip, same conversation, same two people, and XRP Army. The world is about to find out the secret the XRP Army figured out a long time ago. The value is in the protocol. Lock in.
The difference is we all get a stake in this. You just have to buy a token of the underlying decentralized infrastructure rails, and we can all participate. We did not in the internet, and here we get a second do-over, and the whole of humanity can get involved. There's 600 million active wallets. There's 600 million participating in this.
I couldn't agree with you more. I think that this is the most misunderstood aspect of the whole entire thing. If I was to rebuild Uber today in a tokenized world, I could build Uber in a manner that benefits all the drivers. In the pre-tokenized world, I could tell you right now that Uber is going to end in a manner that does not benefit the drivers, right? The drivers are the biggest cost center for Uber today. They are going to 100% move towards a Waymo model, right? You could see that. The drivers are ultimately what is driving all of the AI gathering for Uber. In a tokenized world, the drivers would have an ownership stake in the network that they're building, right? People do not understand that this evolution will actually benefit the masses more than hurt the masses. And will some people benefit more than others? Yes, but that happens in any moment of change, right? But like in the grand scheme of things, the US debt is in a better spot today from where treasuries can be parked. Humanity's in a better spot in terms of more people gaining access to the money that should be owed to them versus intermediaries. And more people will ultimately be able to gain access to real valuable assets that they never had access to before. That is what the larger sort of aspect is happening with the tokenization of the world. And that's what gets me so excited on every level.
Man, I'm feeling the energy. Are you feeling the energy? Woo-hoo-hoo. It feels good. All right. This is from Zayef Crypto. All right. It says XRP ETF buzz is heating up. 29 seconds. And then we're going to get into some real life information of what to be expected over the next few weeks to few months, guys.
But yeah, I think we will probably see some more, probably for the big ones, Sol, XRP, ADA perhaps, but whether all these other ones get approved or not, that might be a bit of a bridge too far, even for this new SEC, which is so unbelievably pro crypto. It still kind of boggles my mind when you think back to where we were a year ago.
All right. Anyways, let's keep it going. So I've shown you these documents in previous videos, but let's take a look again here. So this is Title Trust 2 has filed deference leverage long XRP ETF with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. And you also have SEC just accepted the filing for the deference leverage long ETF. And here is that filing on the government website. Now, the reason this is important, of course, you have the SEC filing details. This is like the information about it if you're interested to learn that information. Here's the product timelines and structure. The filing date is August 19, 2025, and the effective date is 75 days later. So this is going to be right in October, right? Right at the end of October, which the other ETF products will be decided on then. October 18th through 25th is going to be a very interesting time. I hope to bring you some incredible news during that time of ETF actually being launched. We know that the SEC says yes to the spot or any of these products within a 24-hour period. Those institutions can get up and running. They probably already have it ready to go. They just need to press the button and we will be on our way. The implications here for Wall Street and retail investors are as follows. Such filings are typically early indicators of broader adoption. Major fund managers and ETF sponsors like Defiance ETFs and Title Trust are positioning themselves to capitalize in regulatory green lights proceeds even if current approval isn't final. The presence of XRP products is notable as past SEC actions and regulatory clarity around XRP have been often made in U.S. issuers cautions to those issuers. This filing signals increased regulatory comfort and demand from institutional and retail investors. Basically, right now, there is more demand for XRP related products than any other product in the crypto market. Yes, there's a lot of money going into Bitcoin and Ethereum, but the new demand, what we're talking about, the current filings that not have been approved yet, XRP is by far the most requested, most filled out form ready to get that approved. I said that totally wrong. I don't know. It's the demand for XRP ETFs doubles the demand for Solana ETFs, and that is in second place. That's what I meant to say. My brain is moving faster than my mouth is moving faster than my brain. Let's get back to this. 100 plus tokenized stocks and ETFs in 1 day. So if you're not familiar with Ondo Finance is going live here in 6 days from now, September 3rd. Ondo will launch its Ondo Global Markets platform, enabling global access outside of the US to tokenize US stocks, ETFs, and bonds via blockchain. We've been talking about Ondo in live streams and in some of these videos over the last year. If you haven't been able to participate into Ondo, you might want to start paying attention to it. Things are about to get interesting and take off here. I mean, 24/7, 365 accessibility. Non-US investors can gain exposure to trade US securities at any time, overcoming traditional market hours and regional barriers. Fractional ownership investors can buy portions of equities or ETFs, democratizing access to high value US assets. So right now, if you are in a country that's non-US, you usually have to go through some type of broker and all of these things to get an account to be able to buy stocks and bonds and these types of products. With this all moving to blockchain, you can basically do this with a crypto wallet like a MetaMask or whatever it is. And you're going to be able to have access to fractionalized stock. So let's say you can't afford a full Tesla stock or Nvidia stock, whatever the stock that is your most interest, and you can maybe only buy a quarter or half of that stock. You're going to be able to do fractionalized ownership. You can buy a tenth of it. You can buy 0.05%, whatever it is that you want to do. You can start saving today. This is going to help put more money into US markets. This is going to benefit not just the blockchain rails, but this is also going to, any American that has money in the market, if the market continues to go up and more money can come into the market, that will be beneficiary long term, right? Obviously, markets have highs and have lows, and we're probably going to experience some low points here, in the next, we'll have to see, right? Because when you lower rates, that's going to fuel markets for the time being. But when you lower rates that much and you continue to do QE, which is quantitative easing and printing money, you're going to run into similar issues that we had during like the 2020 issue, where we printed a lot of money and interest rates were too low for too long, and you have inflation. So, I'm still kind of trying to figure out when that's going to start kicking in. I do know there's going to be a lot of people happy that rates will come down. People will be able to buy homes and credit cards and all of these things will be a lot cheaper. And maybe I'll finally go get a new car. My wife and I have been sharing a car recently because I work from home. I get to work with my favorite person in the world, which is Luna. And, I don't drive much. We go to Costco on the weekends, but like, that's it. And so I had this like $1,000 car payment for this really nice, Mercedes. It was a E53 AMG. I love a good sports car. But right now we're just sharing, a Mercedes SUV. And like, I have not wanted to go get another car because the rates for the leases are insane. And I'm like, I want a nice car, but I don't want a nice car that bad where I'm paying an additional $500 or $600 just for on the interest. Not really interested. So if rates come crashing down and I can get into something pretty nice for a good deal, I always want a good deal, right? I'm sure you do too. Anyways, enough about my fantasies on the next car that I want. Let's go ahead and play this. Now, this is an older clip, and like I have some issues with this clip, but what I want to do is I want to play the clip. I want to let you listen to the clip, and then I'll tell you what my issues are.
You really think XRP could hit $10,000?
XRP definitely could hit $10,000. BlackRock is about to buy $9 trillion worth of XRP.
That's insane. Soulface, what do you think, bro?
BlackRock is about to buy $9 trillion worth of XRP. Okay.
Oh yeah, definitely 1,000% XRP is about to hit $10,000, especially because of them going after the Swift banking system.
Okay, Gabe, what do you think, bro?
Without a doubt, XRP to 10 bands, and the reason is XRP has intrinsic value. Bitcoin doesn't.
Okay, Mark, what do you think?
XRP $10,000? No question.
Okay, cool. Luke, what do you think?
Absolutely. Wisdom Tree just recently filed an ETF. It's going to go berserk.
Okay, cool. Sage, what do you think, bro?
I think XRP could 100% hit $10,000 simply if they just take over the Swift banking
My man's got a dope shirt here, Lord of the Rings. Love that.
system, which will put their market cap well over 1.2 quadrillion.
Wait, hold on. I got distracted with the dude's shirt. I'm so sorry.
Bro,
I think XRP could 100% hit $10,000 simply if they just take over the Swift banking system, which will put their market cap well over 1.2 quadrillion.
There's a few problems with this logic, but anyways, I don't know what to say right now. Listen, BlackRock, how much money does BlackRock have under management? Hold on, let's just take a look. How much in total does BlackRock have under management? Let's just see here. Let's spell management right though. 12.53 trillion. Okay, so let's put yourself in Larry Fink's shoes, right? Let's just say Larry Fink could decide where all the money goes. Okay. Would you invest 80% of your entire net worth or your entire company's net worth into a crypto asset that has not fully reached utility point yet? I mean, just $9 trillion is not going to go into XRP from BlackRock. Okay. You might see $9 trillion go into XRP over the next, 10 years from everybody under the sun, and institutions and banks and companies trying to build out their own treasuries and XRP strategies. You might get some crazy value over the next 10 years or something. But to say that they're going to do this like soon, I think is a fairy tale. I don't know. All right. I'll leave it at that. Peace. I have just built a course for beginners, intermediaries, and experts of XRP to better understand the XRP ledger and Ripple, the company. If you're interested in getting that course absolutely free, there's a link down in the description. Please let me know what you think after you've taken the course. Aloha.